Hi guys, we're going to tie another Irish shrimp fly. This is the Greenwood Claret shrimp. So this is an Esmond Drury, and as you've probably heard me say before, I think it is the best hook suited for an Irish shrimp, but each to their own. So I'm going to use black thread. This is a sort of a drab coloured shrimp, and we are going to use a claret tail on this one, but first we're going to put in a little gold oval butt. So I'm tying that on the top, and then, as you've seen me do before, this sort of wiggle wrap, which takes a bit of practice, but will get you through the legs of your treble without catching your tying thread. So once we get back near the back there, I'm going to wrap this tinsel backways, maybe 3 or 4 turns, depends on how prominent you want it to be. As you can see, I'm tying it off in the middle here, so as I'm not having to wrap through the trebles. Catch them, cut your thread again. So next I'm going to add a little bit of pearl crystal here. Again, I'm tying this in across its middle, in the middle of the hook, and then I'll one turn over it, and I'll keep these 2 strands backwards, and I'll now tie in the claret GP breast feather, and once we get the length of it, then we can cut these off to the desired length. So next we want to take a golden pheasant breast feather that has been dyed claret. Strip the fluff, find the center of the hackle, and just pull these bits forward. Now you can double this at this stage if you want, and I've done that in other videos, so I suppose this is just a bit different. So what I'm going to do is start to tie back over my crystal hair until I get near the back. Then I'm going to wrap into that, just the split where I separated the fibres back, stroke them back. Then I will fold the feather backwards and get a couple of wraps over the folded section just to hold it in position. Take that forward out of the way. So now we take our hackle pliers, and I'm just going to stroke the feather between finger and thumb as I wrap it. This doubles it, makes it more controllable. Don't worry that the hackle is all getting caught up in the hooks. And tie that off in the middle here. So now we'll take this gold, what was left of what we tied the tag in with, we'll fold it back and then wrap backwards over that until we get back to where the golden pheasant was turned, wrapped. And then these other bits here, instead, you've seen me blow them out before, so this is just how you pick them out. You sort of just go in between each leg. Anything you see that's sort of folded over or wrapped around the hook, you just flick it out. These bits here, you can either fold them back and tie them off or trim them off. So now that we have our length of our tail, we can take our 2 strands here, hold them back and cut them to the same length. Right, so rear section of this fly, I'm going to use a light claret seal. You can use dark if you want it darker. I just like it that it gives a bit of contrast because we're going with the claret middle hackle as well. So I just like the fact that this has a little bit of contrast in colour. So dub that onto your thread and wrap it forward to roughly the middle or so of the fly, and then we take our gold rib and we come forward in 2 to 3 turns, whatever it takes to get you up it. Now I'm using a very fine tinsel, so I got in 3 or 4 turns. You use a thicker stuff, don't try and cram it, just put on 2. Okay, so for the middle of the fly we're going to use a claret hackle. So I'm doubling it here because I prefer doubled hackles, and I should try and get you a link up here, hopefully, for doubling hackles, as in any of the videos that I do. So once we have it doubled, I snip off the tip, and the same as before, tie in across the very tip of the thing, fold it back, and wrap across it back to where the seal's fur ended, and then we'll wrap that on 1-2 turns at most, I think, here, and tie it in. Trim it off. Any fibres that are sticking out, I'll just get rid of them. So now I'll just shape that back, finger and thumb. It takes a bit of practice so as not to stab yourself, but you have to sort of get between the different legs of the treble. Okay, so front section of this fly we're going to rib with a silver. So I'm tying in a silver oval here. This is a size 10 fly, so I'm sort of using either a medium or a small. And the front dubbed section of this is black, but what I'm going to do here is use actually a black spectra dubbing. So it has a little bit of flash in it. And we'll put on front body section, about 2/3 probably of the length of the rear section. If you make it too long, you'll cram yourself up here and run out of room. So generally you get 2 turns or so on that front body section, 3 if you're lucky. So we tie off our silver ribbon, and for the front hackle I'm going to use a little a white badger cape. This is a saddle. So again, take the feather. What I want to do here is I want the definition of the barring, so I'm stripping off this end of the feather up to the point where I'm happy that I'm going to get a nice solid black center to it. Then I'll double it. And again, nip off the tip. Tie it in by its tip. Fold it back. And wind that hackle on. So again, I just get my fingers and thumbs in the way, but what I'm doing is I'm just controlling the angle of the stalk, and I'm winding on all that I had stripped off there, so then that my tie-in point is on bare stalk, and that is very neat. Fold it back on itself and nick it off. All that remains now to finish this one is a pair of jungle cock eyes. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go to the small end and pick a couple of small feathers, one from each side of the cape. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to strip them back, the fluffy bits off the butts here. And I want want to tie in on this little second white enameled section. So set one up on my side, set the other one up on the other side. I'm just holding it in place, and then it's up to you where you put them. Some people like them right up on top near touching, some people like them very flush on the sides, and you can change the angle that your feather sits at by pulling these end pieces. So if I pull this down, as you see here, well, I pull it around, but it changes the angle that the feather will sit at. Once I'm happy, I'll get a few turns back along the feather to hold it at the angle I want. Then I'm going to flip these stalks back, which put a wrap over it. Same on this side, fold the stalk back. Therefore the jungle cock can't pull out backwards. And then I'll just snip off the waist end of those feathers. And then we'll finish the head. Now the head is black, so I'm just holding the jungle cock in position so it doesn't move when I wrap backwards, and finish that off. And varnish it. Now you'll also have seen me do that with super glue. So this is just another, probably more traditional method of finishing a head. But that is our Greenwood Claret shrimp. Hopefully you like what you see. If you do, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, more the merrier. And tight lines. Until next time, thanks for watching.